Judge Amy Coney Barrett's judicial views and the potential influence her Catholic faith may have on her legal decisions have also been the targets of those opposed to her nomination to the Supreme Court. Joining me now on Skype to help us examine both of those subjects is Stephanie Barclay, Associate Professor of Law at Notre Dame Law School. Stephanie, welcome back. Great to have you on again. Let's begin with Judge Barrett's overall judicial philosophy. What do we know about her approach to the law?
Well, Judge Barrett is a respected judge, an award-winning teacher, an exceptional scholar, and she is a judge who has talked about the importance of deciding the law according to its text and its original meaning. She recognizes that sometimes things will change in our republic. It's not a perfect union, but the question is where that change should come from. Should it come from unelected judges and their policy preferences, or should it come from the democratic process? And Judge Barrett has made clear that she thinks major change should come from the democratically elected people to reflect the will of we the people, and that she would impartially apply that law.
Critics of Judge Barrett's nomination have expressed concern over how she may rule in cases before the Supreme Court, that is, regarding the Affordable Care Act and abortion. What insight can we gain from Judge Barrett's previous rulings?
Well, during her time on the Seventh Circuit, Judge Barrett has demonstrated that she is a jurist who knows how to build consensus and apply the law fairly. When she drafted the majority opinion in the Seventh Circuit cases she ruled on, her colleagues unanimously agreed with her 95% of the time. And in the less than 5% of the cases where there was some disagreement, that disagreement was more likely to come from her Republican-appointed colleagues than from Democratic-appointed colleagues. This makes clear that Judge Barrett is able to build consensus on important issues and is going to apply the law as the text requires, not based on her own personal positions on things.
Yeah, her religious beliefs and their possible influence on her legal reasoning have been called into question with the Supreme Court nomination. Also happened to her back in 2017 with her nomination to the Seventh Circuit Court. Can you tell us what she said about that?
Well, she has certainly spoken about how she is a woman of deep faith, and that's important to her. And at the Seventh Circuit, when she was asked different questions about her faith and her views, she just made clear that those views won't interfere with her ability to focus on the real legal issues that are presented before her and the litigants before her. She's again demonstrated that at the Seventh Circuit. She has applied the law in nonpartisan ways, sometimes ruling against this administration or in ways that might not seem to favor what would be right-of-center outcomes. So I think one thing that is inspiring about her faith is the way that it has led her to be a woman who is such a warm and generous colleague, who serves others, who wants to serve her country, and who is willing to use her law degree to try and help others. That's something that I think is a role model for lawyers and for women everywhere, and something that our Supreme Court will benefit from at this historic moment in history. Such an important role model who is willing to do this good work in such a fair and even-handed way.
Stephanie, what do you make of the emphasis being placed on her Catholic faith as well as her affiliation with the ecumenical group People of Praise? What are your concerns about this sort of focus?
I think this focus shows a lot more about the people who are raising these types of allegations than it does about Judge Barrett. Judge Barrett is part of a group that's really similar to lots of different religious denominations. At my time before being a professor, when I represented lots of different religious groups, a lot of times they will make promises to support each other. They will have Bible study groups. This is even similar to the structure of Alcoholics Anonymous, where you're supporting each other and helping each other. So the fact that groups are trying to make this seem anomalous or marginal would really disenfranchise many different types of religious groups and individuals across our country. Judge Barrett's faith is consistent with a lot of these different types of principles, and the fact that any attention is being drawn at all to this, I think, just suggests how little there is really to complain about her as a person and her really impeccable, sterling credentials and her judicial record.
Well, Stephanie, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you coming on. Stephanie Barclay, Associate Professor of Law at Notre Dame Law School. Thank you again.
Thank you for having me.